Hi, good morning. This is Annalise from Shamanic Intuitive Healing and Hypnosis, Shamanic Intuitive Energy Healing and Hypnosis. It's a long title, but the website's a little shorter, so that's just intuitivehealinghypnosis.com. intuitivehealinghypnosis.com, or you can email me at intuitivehealinghypnosis@gmail.com. So this morning I just wanted to come on. I had committed to 2 videos a month, and I've been on hiatus for, it feels like 3 months. I don't know if it's been that long, but it feels like 3 months. Went through some personal stuff, went through harvest time on our farmstead, have been having dogs, vicious neighbor dogs attacking our chickens. So I've been getting less sleep because that means I get up almost every time the rooster crows, literally, which can be a lot. And anyway, so yeah, building a new chicken house. And harvest time here on our farmstead also means planting time, because we're attempting year-round harvest, year-round gardening for food. We don't supply all of our food yet, but that is an eventual goal, to supply at least 85, something above 75% of our food would be an awesome thing. Anyway, so that's been going on. We're working on putting in a fence to keep those dogs off the property, and gosh, lots of other things. Some of you who have seen my other videos or who know me from doing sessions with me and work with me, you know that I have 3 little boys, and we found out we're expecting, and I'm about 5 months. I'm going on 5 months pregnant right now. So that's also figured in those first 3 months of pregnancy. Usually for me means lots of extra naps, and not always feeling like getting on a camera in front of potentially other people. Nothing against you, it's just that there's a lot of changes going on in a woman's body during those first 3 months especially, and it can feel kind of strange. Like, who am I again? But it's good. We're excited. The baby's due in March, right around our oldest son's birthday, so that's exciting news. And yeah, other than that, life goes on. Of course, there's all the pandemic. I want to say craziness, but who knows what's really going on out there. And to be honest with you, I think that's a healthy stance to take. You can be skeptical of it. It's good to question. Definitely good to listen to your gut feelings on things. We're very much into natural health here in our household, and our yoga community from which we hail, in a way that's like our family, home base for us still, even though we don't live per se close to the yoga community anymore like we used to. A lot of that still influences our practices and our lifestyle. So we're a bit if we implement medical procedures on anyone in our household, you'll be sure we've done a lot of research on it and found that it's the word I want to use is legitimate. which means that it's been scientifically proven over time to have a certain effect. And all I can say is it seems to me like vaccines ain't what they used to be. Used to be, you got, you know, your whatever was supposed to, you know, the little bit of the virus or whatever, you know, put into you enough to, you know, have the effect a vaccine should have. And now I'm not sure what they're putting in those. I'm really not sure. So, you know, a lot of the concoction strikes me as elements that are used in genetic engineering, like stem cell kinds of things, fetal cells, which is troubling in and of itself for me. Just, I'm not sure the ethics of that personally. I don't really agree with the ethics of using aborted fetal cells, but everyone's entitled to their own stance, opinions. I do encourage anyone to listen to their gut feeling, to tune into their intuition. If you have questions about things related to all of that, I am happy to do sessions with you. I will bring through what your guides and higher self are saying. I will put my personal opinions aside, and that's just how I work. When I get into a session, sometimes I find a guide is advising something I don't personally think I would ever advise, but they're taking into account your needs at a deep, deep level. They're looking far into your future. And my human self, doesn't do that. When I form my ideas and opinions, they're personal to me. So you see, we can't just say, oh, this is what works for me, and I'm going to apply this to everybody else. And I think those of you on a path of awakening and knowledge of your soul within, and the guidance, the divine guidance you're receiving, you're well aware of that. And you're also old souls who've been here again and again, and here on earth and on other places as well, in many forms, many lifetimes. And you have learned those lessons about how, I guess what I'm hearing is, it never pays to try to impose your personal will on someone else's will. It never does. It's probably a fun lesson to learn way back there in the annals of time and history and space from whence we come. So basically, I wanted to come on this morning. I've got a few different videos up my sleeves. And I wanted to start with a little bit of just pure channeling for where we're at now, where we're coming out of in these last couple of months, where we're going in November, maybe December into the new year. So that's my intention, is to connect with my higher self, my guides, and there's a couple high-level beings in spirit who want to come through. Some may call them angelic in nature, light beings, very high-dimensional beings. So I'm not giving them a name because some energies are beyond names, and that might sound like an excuse not to give a name, but hey, it's the truth. I could name it, but it would box it in. It would limit it. You'd be like, oh, she's talking to angels, or oh, she's talking to Elohim, or let's just skip that whole part. Let's just let them come through. Because it's going to be helpful whether you do that or not. So I'm just not going to introduce, unless they want to share names. Okay. So, first I just want to turn the camera really quick. I've got my little painting here. See if it focuses in. I did this painting in early March of 2020, just before all the pandemic stuff started coming up more. I took my kids up to an art center in our little country county here in Tennessee. We went up to a painting class that used like recycled materials to paint. So we were like painting with like credit cards that were like junk mail credit cards and like old combs and different recycled materials like bubble wrap, and it was really fun and my boys loved it. You can see the bubble wrap in the down there. It was fun, but I called, and it's pretty, it goes around the edges too. I called this painting Stormbird. That was what came to my mind. You know how just before a storm the birds really start swooping and diving? And this one's kind of headed up into the sky after a dive down to, I feel like stormy water, like stormy seas maybe. And I feel like this was my soul kind of intuiting some of what was ahead in that year, both on a personal and a collective level. But you'll see that the bird is headed back up in the painting. And so that's what I wanted to start with our message today, is just the importance of when the storm comes, when the wind blows, whichever way, you might have to kind of sail with the direction of the wind somewhat, but orient yourself, point yourself upwards as much as you can. Of course, there's also the aspect of grounding to earth, but right now, there's a lot of support coming in upwards energy. There's a lot of support coming in from above for us, higher dimensional stuff. And it's there for us to access, but we do have to orient and point ourselves in that direction. So consciously point yourself in that direction. Even if you're having a rough day, a rough week, a rough month, a rough year, take some time to say, okay, am I looking down and getting focused on the problems? Or even if I don't have a clue what the solution is, am I at least pointing myself in a direction where I'm like supplicating for the solution, asking my higher self to come through for me, asking my guides to come through for me with the insight, the inspiration, the motivation, whatever it is I need to get out of that deep dive down. So orient yourself towards the solution. Even if you don't know what the solution is, make the intention, I'm pointing myself in the direction of the solution. I know my help comes through always from my higher self, my guides, from the divine energies, great central sun. There is always energy coming from above to help us, to guide us, to help us through any situation. And it's almost like no situation is so far gone that it cannot be helped by this level of energy, which is pure divine love. pure divine love. There's nothing stronger in the universe than that. And love is a real energy. Just like the electricity coursing through your walls. Okay. Love is a real energy. And I think sometimes we just paint it as some esoteric idea that doesn't really exist. But you can actually literally send the energy of love to yourself, to another person. And it does have an impact, it does have an effect on a vibratory and on a vibratory level, and it manifests in the physical. So some of this, what I'm saying, well, all of it pretty much is channeled already. So the channeling has begun. All right. So let's see what else wants to come through for where we're coming from in these last few months is is like a stormy sea, and I see the clouds are breaking. Just the last month and a half or so, it's like the clouds are breaking, and there's a little more cheerfulness coming through for us. So grab onto some of that magic is what I'm hearing. Grab onto some of that magic, that cheerful magic. And as the clouds are breaking, there's this really fun, beautiful rainbow kind of appearing through the clouds there. And so what that symbolizes for us is just opportunities are opening for you. And this feels like the last month and a half. The clouds are breaking. The clouds are breaking. And which means there's starting to be breakthroughs for you. Events and circumstances in your life that felt stuck, trapped, hard to deal with, like they maybe never would go away, are starting to dissipate, starting to calm down. And really, you're starting to get over it, or it's starting to go away. Okay? And what I'm hearing is it was there for a reason. It was there for a reason. Don't get on the I hate God bandwagon or something because, well, God is punishing me. Remember, your soul elects to come here. Your soul designs. Pretty much everything that happens to you happens for a purpose and a reason, for your awakening, for your, an awakening extends to awakening your heart of service is what I'm hearing. Your heart of service, those things that you're doing here that are serving humanity as a whole, just the energy that you give out every day, or maybe you're writing and helping thousands of people, millions of people, whatever it is, healing work, earth healing, healing work you're doing in secret, healing work you're doing publicly, okay? It's the whole amalgam of things that you are doing here energetically as an old soul, as a higher level vibratory being incarnated on earth. So, and that speaks to lots of you listening. I don't think there's usually anyone who would tune into me because they just simply, it would be like, man, what's she talking about? I don't get that lady. That's okay. I don't expect everyone to get me. My audience in general is going to be, people who are, even if you're newly awakened or whatever, you're an old soul and you're probably awakening pretty fast. And you're like, what's this? What's that? What's this? What's that? And I'm just here to say, it's okay. I've been doing this since my late teens, early 20s, late teens really. But now I'm in my 40s, and I feel like there's a steadiness that I've achieved now, you know, where I'm okay to talk to you guys about all that stuff that I went through, and also about what you may be going through, and to hopefully be a kind of a light post, or a steady I'm just trying to ask, because I'm like, I don't like talking about myself. It makes me uncomfortable, but they're asking me to talk about this. So, a steady person who's doing the work and has done a lot of work, they're saying, who you can rely on, and come to with questions. And you're free. You don't have to pay me right off the bat, okay? I'm not like, oh, I give you 5 minutes of my time and you owe me this. Let me send you the bill. I mean, payment is good. It shows you value. You value what you're receiving. But I am happy to answer questions you may have via email, and just to be here. I have a very motherly aspect to me too, so it's kind of like I'm working as a guide in the human flesh. All right. And I definitely enjoy connecting with your guides, with my guides, and bringing through messages and information that helps you where you're at. So, what else do they want to say? So, yeah, going within, getting guidance, learning to tap in. I mean, they're dying to get through to you right now. They're getting through to a lot more people than they ever used to. The guides and your higher self and your multidimensional selves also, who have always energy and things to offer to you. And they're part of you, but sometimes we close off to parts of ourselves, right? So the art is opening. There's this great book. You probably maybe have come across it. I definitely came across it during my journey, probably 12 years ago. I have no idea. Sanaya Roman is the author, and she's written a lot of books, loads of books. I want to say this is the first one. Anyway, it's called Opening to Channel. Interesting book. You might want to look at it. I was just prompted to share that title with you. Opening to Channel. To channel. Now, it's not about just becoming a channeler, blah, 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 blah. It's about how you're channeling energy constantly in your life, how to start recognizing, discerning, and using that energy to your highest benefit. To manifest things in your life, to accomplish your goals, your soul purpose. So it's got a lot of great tips, tidbits, golden nuggets, and information. I don't think I necessarily read that cover to cover the first time I read it. I opened up to the page I felt drawn to, and every time I did that, it was like, boom, 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 talking about my life right then. So very interesting. I love books that I can do that. You just open to a page. And then I think eventually I did start at the front cover and read all the way through, you know, even all the the front matter, that's not always the most enriching thing to read, but you know, the dedication and all that. It can be fun to read every part of a book sometimes. So, yeah, where we're at now, so month and a half or so, clouds breaking, rainbow, opportunity, cheer is the word that comes through. And right now, going within, connecting like never before with your inner guidance. And into December, for sure, it feels like you're going to be asking a lot of questions. Like, you might not have a lot of questions now. Right now, you're really priming the pump. You're getting yourself connected within so that you're hearing your inner guidance very clearly, like louder than any other guidance or voice in your life, external to you. Your inner guidance is your number one source of news, information, encouragement, and realization about yourself and who you are. Okay, so you're getting really secure in that here in November. Okay, and in December, it's like questions are going to start pouring in. Instigated by what? World events, life events, happenings. I'm being shown like a car accident, and I don't wish that on anyone, but things that happen that it's like, oops, where the heck did that come from out of nowhere? And I was like, I didn't ask for this in my life. I didn't put this in my soul plan, but here it is. And we're going to deal with it. And we know how because we know our inner guidance hasn't steered us wrong. It didn't take us on the wrong road with our vehicle, okay? Our vehicle, the body. And whatever it is that happens, it's not like it's a car accident, guys. It's like a metaphor, okay? So you're driving along in your earthly vehicle, your body, and boom, something hits you out of nowhere, and it's like, what the heck? I didn't ask for that. That's what I'm kind of feeling that December, and kind of going into January, February, March, April, May, and June. But let's stay optimistic is what I'm hearing. Let's stay optimistic. Let's hope for the best. And realize that when things come out of nowhere, they can be huge blessings. They may be putting us into contact, I'm hearing, for one, with people we may not have been in contact with otherwise. We will learn to look at our stress levels and our emotions and to balance them even more, to reduce those through self-care and self-love techniques. Taking care of ourselves. And so whatever it is that happens for you in your life that feels that way, like accident, out of nowhere, didn't want this, embrace it as a blessing as much as you can. There will be stressful moments. There always are with those unexpected things in life. But embrace the stressful, not the stressful moments, embrace the experience. Try to release the stress. And, maybe what I was saying, embrace the stressful moments, they're onto something. I think that is what they wanted to say. Accept that stress comes and goes in human life, and learning to process it rather than hold on to it is what they're saying. Okay, thank you. We're learning to process the stress out rather than hold on to it in your body, which causes disease and mental and emotional conditions that are fatiguing and not beneficial to you. Processing the stress out And they say that comes from pointing and orienting yourself upwards. Pointing and orienting yourself upwards. When you orient yourself in a downward direction and you're focused. Hey guys, my movie caught up. So what I was saying is when you're focusing yourself, or what's coming through for me rather, and I am saying it, when you're orienting yourself in a downward direction, you're focusing on the problems, focusing on the trouble, focusing on what hurts, where the pain is. It can be really hard to turn that ship around and point yourself in the other direction. But that is the direction where the stress releases. This is the direction where the stress increases. That rhymes. Cool. Stress releases, stress increases. So orient yourself to the higher energies to release your stress, okay? This means getting into the perspective more and more of your higher self, of your guides. And how do you do that? Through connecting with them. Meditation. And as you know, I've talked about it before. Meditation is not just sitting still and om, or clearing your mind necessarily, although those can be very beneficial and useful if you feel called to that. It can be taking a walk. It could be taking a shower, driving your car, working in your garden, petting your dog, playing with your children. Anytime that, or drawing, coloring, I'm hearing, coloring a picture. Anytime that you can just, knitting. They've got loads of ideas. Even reading a book, they say, where you're not engaging your left side critical analytical brain too much in the reading material. Any of those things can serve as a what could be called meditation, which is basically connecting with your higher self. And then connecting also with guides and other helpers, high-level helpers in spirit who want to come through for you. And you might not know it's your higher self. It might just feel very relaxed and feel like your own thoughts. And in a way, it is. And that's how they come through to us a lot of the time. But some of you will feel it in your bodies. Some of you will feel movement and light coursing through your bodies, energy, vibration. Some of you, and along with that comes a message and a knowledge. So the message and the knowledge is the important thing. The way it's delivered is unique to each person. Some people get words and hear words really easily, so they call me clairaudient. And of course visuals. I get visuals too. Some people see on the screen in their mind's eye. Some people see what would be described as in the physical, or it's like they're seeing into other dimensions. So yes, so that connection. So we were talking about moving into December, January, and I even felt the energy of the whole, oops, wait, I didn't want that to happen to me. I didn't plan for that kind of experience or experiences coming in. I felt that energy going out into June. But then it's like it cuts off. So I think that at that summer solstice or something with the energy in June, it's like, okay, this period of time is up and we're moving into a new wave of energy that's almost coming to like rescue us out of that. It's not going to be a bad first half of the year. No. It has so many blessings. Look at that rainbow, the cheer, the clouds parting, the breakthroughs. Breakthroughs are awesome. Okay, so January, December, January. Just seeing if there's any other messages that want to come through for December, January. They're saying, it's already, we've covered a lot. And they're saying if you have individual circumstances and questions coming up in your life, you know, find someone you trust and enjoy working with. You could work with me if you want. intuitivehealinghypnosis@gmail.com. You can find my website at intuitivehealinghypnosis.com. But, you know, work with someone that you feel really comfortable with their energy, which may or may not be me. And I have a very strong healer aspect. You may be in need of someone who's more of like a teacher, for instance. Or, you know, so feel out what your soul needs and let your higher self, let your guides guide you to someone who can kind of, you don't want to rely on another person for your information. What I like to advise, especially you old souls, to do is like, and I do this for myself too, so I feel comfortable saying this to you because I do it too, and I think it's a good practice. If I schedule a session with somebody, a big part of my intention is to get confirmation about things I've been feeling and discerning, but maybe I'm not completely 100% in my human mind sure about yet. Okay? So, I was just thinking like, okay, I almost didn't want to share this example because it's like, how much personal stuff do you want to hear? But, like I went for a hypnosis session and did a past life regression. And that's something that I think is really helpful, to go in with another person. They're kind of guiding through that, and you can just relax into it. I know you can go on YouTube and find like past life regression, meditation videos and things that'll guide you in that, and that can work too. But when you're looking for like a really in-depth and personalized experience of going into a past life, or going in to meet a guide, or to connect with your higher self and get some answers about things in that relaxed state and everything that you go into for hypnosis and shamanic journey and things, I need to take a breath, right? I need to take a breath. And maybe a little sip of coffee. This is decaf. I don't drink regular coffee anymore. Because it started affecting me. I did up to like a year ago. And I switched to decaf because I still like that hot cup of coffee most mornings. I can skip it though now and again. All right. Personal stuff. Oh, there's nothing like dipping a cookie into your coffee for breakfast. So yeah, it can be beneficial to have somebody guide you through a session like that, where it's just good to relax and kind of let go and go with the flow of the energy, and have them, a trusted person working to guide you through the experience. Preferably somebody who's got enough spiritual insight and knowledge and experience to kind of see, oh, okay, see where it's heading, and help make it a smooth experience for you going into a past life or whatever. Okay. So when you get a session from someone, like I was saying, my advice is use it for confirmation. So before your session, write down some of your major questions or concerns in your life at this time, and then answer those for yourself. Tune in, take a deep breath, relax your mind, relax your body as much as you can. Tune in and write the answers that come through from your higher self, or that you just feel in yourself. Write those answers down for the questions before the session. Now, you can use these to kind of Compare and contrast the information you get from the psychic or the intuitive medium who you go to. So I think that's always good, because pretty much everybody working as an intuitive or psychic is, they've got their own filters, and these may or may not work well for you. So filters can be basically, a filter is a belief or a belief system through which all information comes. And so somewhere between the pure information coming through and the output, like the words, there's a little bit of translation that goes on for every intuitive. Pardon me. I might have to delete that out. Hey, I'm a real person. For every intuitive, there's a translation process. So bear with us. And that's why it's good to go direct. Go direct to get your information first. And then you can listen and see if it corroborates or confirms what you're getting to. And sometimes it might not. My advice is, if something an intuitive or a psychic is telling you feels bad, you really need to sit with that. Don't necessarily take it as truth, because that might be coming through their filters and getting garbled, okay? Or interfered with some way. Energetically interfered with some way. And that might not actually be a good message for you to take in. So be careful what you hold on to as truth and what you believe, because you really need to use your own discernment and filtering system. And of course, like, we can be wrong about things, but if it doesn't feel right or it seems off in some way, you really need to question that and look at that more, or say, I'm not taking that. Like, that's getting pushed aside. That's not invited into my energy or my experience. All right, so be blessed, not stressed. Hope you guys have wonderful time giving thanks in the U.S., where I'm from, obviously. Thanksgiving is coming up in a couple of weeks now, and I always get a little stir of embers in my heart center around Thanksgiving. It's just such a nice time to be with your family, eat, and be grateful for the bounty, the harvest, and it's just joyful. It's joyful to celebrate. So enjoy the celebrations that come in these next few months, because Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, even Halloween this year felt joyful. It was like, we're going to have some fun. We're going to make Kleenex ghosts and hang them from the ceiling in the house and put spider webs up in the kids' bedroom. You know, it's just like, let's have some fun. Let's infuse some cheer and joy. So be blessed, not stressed, and really embrace the cheer that's here. So, all right, lots of love. Bye-bye.